Worry about it. What do you think our next guest is worried?
I tell you what, that leads us right into. We've got another guest lined up for you as well. Former University of Texas volleyball player, current player for the LOVB Austin franchise, Asjia O'Neal. Asjia, how you doing?
Hey guys, how are you?
Good. We appreciate you joining us today. Want to give you an opportunity. We're excited to have you on. But want to give you a chance to talk about the Austin franchise and League One volleyball here in Austin. And obviously, we got to ask you some questions about your days at UT as well, of course. But thank you for coming on with us.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
So tell us a little bit about League One volleyball.
Yeah, so this is our first year. It's been in the works for about 5 years now. So like my junior year at Texas was when I first heard about League One. We have teams across the country. We have Austin, Houston, Atlanta, Salt Lake, Madison, and Omaha. But the Austin team, we actually have 9 former Longhorns on it, 5 girls that I played with and won national championships with. So it's basically like Texas 2.0. That's kind of what they call it. They call it the Love Horns. So it's really just a big reunion with different generations of Texas volleyball. But it's really cool to be back in a city that gave me so much and play in front of fans that I basically grew up playing in front of. So it's been a really fun experience. We're a couple games in. We have a big tournament coming up this weekend in Kansas City. But I'm just really excited to be with this franchise.
Well, certainly professional volleyball in the States has had a up and down history. The beach volleyball leagues, we've seen them come and go some. So hopefully this is a league that will give the incredible athletes that I tell you what, and I've been doing this the last couple of years, giving a lot of props to ESPN and their efforts over the last couple of years to air more games on the weekends, and you can see more matches. A lot of that has also had to do with the conference networks airing a lot of volleyball. Of course, we were lucky enough here to have Longhorn Network, and so I was able to essentially sit back and watch. If I wasn't able to make it to a game at Greg Gym, was able to sit back and watch games on TV for the home slate anyway. So, but it's been a long time coming and getting a professional league and giving you ladies a chance to play somewhere without having to leave the country to continue playing your professional career.
Yeah, it definitely has been, and this was something that I didn't even think would be possible, like for the beginning half of my college career. So being able to play in America in front of the fans that we know so well and continuing to grow our brands that we worked super hard on in college is really special, because a lot of people would have to go overseas. Your family can't see you, your friends can't see you, and you kind of just like disappear in some way. So it's really great what Love is doing and allowing us to continue to play here, but also build our brands and do things outside of volleyball to kind of push for the agenda of women's volleyball here in the States.
I'd like to roll back real quick, if you don't mind, about your decision coming out of high school and deciding where you're going to play. And obviously, we don't even need, the great thing, Asjia, about having you on is we don't even need to talk about your dad, right? But we can mention the fact that having a dad who is a professional athlete certainly gave you some advantages of how to conceptualize and plan out your future and where you'd like to take your step 1 and step 2. What led you to the University of Texas in the first place?
Yeah, honestly, I first saw Texas volleyball play in 2012 when they won their first national championship. And I remember watching people like Kat Bell, Haley Eckerman, and seeing them play. And at that time, volleyball was not very diverse at all. It was mostly a completely white sport. And so me being a young black girl, seeing other girls that looked like me playing at the highest of levels and have this fire and aggression and this energy that I didn't see back home playing club volleyball was really special to me. And that was pretty much what put Texas on the map for me. And then throughout all my visits in high school, I just would meet the girls, be around the program, and Jarrett, the head coach there, really is someone who emphasizes having diversity, whether it's on the staff or within the program. And he really encourages everyone to authentically be themselves. And every single time I went there, I just felt super comfortable, and I felt like I was in a space where I could be me and I didn't have to put on any other facade or be any other type of person besides Asjia. So immediately I really connected with that program, and obviously they're great at volleyball, so that was a perk too. But yeah, it just kind of felt right, and I committed pretty early, like my sophomore year, and then I was just ready to get on campus after that.
Hey, Asjia, Corey Mose here. Just wanted to ask you a couple questions. You just brought up Kat. What's it like being able to play with her now? And that must be super dope.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's very full circle for me, and now that we're friends, it's really weird because I grew up so much just watching her be like, I want to be like Kat, I want to be like her, I want to play like her, all those things, and now we're friends and teammates. So it's a really cool dynamic that I've experienced, but it's also really special just to learn from her, to pick her brain, just hear about her experience, and just have veterans like her on the team.
And then a former teammate, Madison Skinner, is now on the squad. How much recruiting did y'all have to do? Any at all? Or what?
So I kept like putting it in her ear, like, you should stay in America, you should stay here. And I didn't know where she was going to go. Love kind of put all the girls somewhere, and I didn't know if she did stay here, if she was going to be Austin or Houston. So we were hopeful, but we found out basically like 2 days before the rest of the world found out. So I had no idea. I was shocked, but we were really excited for her to come back.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hey, Asjia, this is Douglas Washington. What's up, short stuff? I'm 5'6".
Perfect.
Yeah. How tall are you, Asjia?
I'm 6'3".
Barely got me.
Taller than you, bro.
Barely.
You just barely got me. Okay, fine, Asjia. I'll give you that one. You win that one. I'm very curious here. You had to have known a question about your dad was going to come up. Have you ever blocked your dad? Maybe he wanted to come out and play a little volleyball with you. Maybe it was some basketball. Did you ever get the big man?
So, funny enough, I've never played my dad in basketball. So I haven't blocked him there. And then when we would play volleyball, I think like around the beginning of my career, I got him to get on the court with me, and I might have blocked him then, but he wasn't great. And I was like, I'm playing on a women's net. That's not comparable. Like, I'm on a men's net, but I don't want to be on a men's net. So no, but maybe I need to make that happen.
Yes, you do. It's primetime footage. One other quick question then. What are your goals for the upcoming season with the team as an individual player and as a team?
Yeah, I think individually just wanting to continue to get better. It's my second year pro. My first year I was hurt a lot, so it's nice to be fully ready to go and just getting better every day. Every single night we have really high competition, so it's never going to be an easy night. As a team-wise, we have this big tournament coming up. We want to do well, win there, and then just continue to go up in the rankings. For the first year, everyone makes postseason, but you obviously want to be ranked higher so you can get a bye. But I think we have all the talent on our team, and it's slowly starting to come together. We've had a lot of different lineup changes, but I think we're starting to find our flow, and I'm hoping that we can win this championship and bring it back to the city and have a little parade.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I just wanted to ask, just personally, Asjia, you spoke about all the Longhorns that are on the roster, and covering y'all for KVU. It's just been cool watching y'all's run, but knowing that y'all won a lot on the 40 acres. And so what has the transition been, just being professional now, knowing that everyone's great and you will take some losses down the road, and how you were able to manage that, knowing that in your college career, a lot of y'all didn't really lose that often?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great question. That definitely was something that was an adjustment for me, just coming off my first year. Like you said, at Texas, we rarely lose, and when we do, it feels like the whole world is falling apart. So having to get used to that has been an experience, but I think we all just kind of remind ourselves that we have to go through those growing pains a little bit, and that as long as we're continuing to improve, then we can look at the positive of that. But losing still sucks. I still hate losing. It's like my least favorite thing to do ever. But I think it's just shifting your mindset and knowing that at this level, like, everyone's here because this is the top 1% of women's volleyball players. So you can't take everything as hard as we did when we were in college.
Yeah.
So for everyone's knowledge, LOVB Austin plays out at Cedar Park Center. They also have some games down at Strahan Center on the campus of Texas State as well. So if you're north side, There's a place for you to go watch them. If you're South Side, you can go down to San Marcos and watch them play as well. And then you've got obviously you mentioned the tournament coming up in Kansas City at Municipal Arena. And most of these games, if not all, and maybe correct me, maybe all the games are being televised on ESPN Plus through the ESPN Plus platform as well.
Yeah, most are on ESPN Plus, and if not, then we just have a free stream on the Love website or on YouTube. So very easy to access and watch.
Hey, Asjia, Douglas again. I got to know here, how do you balance the demands of professional volleyball with other aspects of your life? Your training, recovery, personal interests. When's the last time you went salsa dancing? I just feel like I never really hear about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's a lot easier to balance that work-life balance now that I'm out of college. In college, you're ripping and running and you don't have very much free time at all, especially during season. But now we're pretty much done with our volleyball stuff at 1 p.m. every day. So I go right ahead to my recovery. I can go hang out with my friends, be with my boyfriend. We have a ton of downtime, which I think is really special. The league did a really good job of making sure that we have a week off for Christmas, a week off for Thanksgiving, and we're not just go all the time, because volleyball is a year-round sport. You're playing pro November to April, and then national team May to September. So they wanted to make sure that we have that carved out time there, and we've definitely been taking advantage of it. We know the city very well, the 9 of us that played here, so we're always doing stuff. We got together last night for Molly McCage's birthday. We have a ton of downtime, and it's really nice to kind of keep our minds and our bodies fresh throughout the season.
Oh, that's cool. Good to hear.
Asjia, you mentioned quickly there the national team. You talk a little bit about the United States depth, if you will, at the national team level, and how difficult it is just to get to be a part of that pool.
Yeah, the talent that we have in this country is insane, and it's really hard to make your way into the gym, but then also to make those big rosters. And lucky enough for me, I was able to start training with them in college going into my, junior year. It was my first summer with the national team, and just being in there my first summer, I was immediately just kind of taken aback because everyone's so high level, and you have people that have been playing overseas for almost a decade, if not more, and then I was coming in and just playing college volleyball. So it definitely was a whirlwind, but I think it's really special that we have so much talent. And I know now that the head coach is Eric Sullivan, who was our assistant coach at Texas. This is his first year, the quad starting. He's going to bring in a ton of girls this summer just to see who we have. I'm sure with the new quad starting also, some girls will retire and new people will come in. So every summer it's like a million girls coming in, and we're just kind of finding our flow. But I think it's also a really great problem to have, because that means that we're never going to be short of having a talented team.
Yeah, for sure.
You just mentioned one of your former coaches in Eric Sullivan. I wanted to ask about Jared and the difference, or biggest difference you feel like there is between a Jared Elliott-led team and a Marco-led team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the biggest thing between college and professional is you spend so much time with your college coaches. I was super close with Jared. I was there for 6 years, obviously, And so I feel like Jared's he was a third parent for me, and we really created that bond, and we would talk all the time inside, outside of the gym. Whereas being on a professional team, you have your time to get to know your coach, but it's so quick, and I feel like the season goes by in the blink of an eye. And then also he's a foreigner, he's from Italy, so just having differences between American college volleyball versus international Italian volleyball is something that I had to get used to, and just coaching styles and all the things. But I think it's really cool to have that experience and be able to adjust and learn from different coaches on the fly, because at this point, I'm not going to be in a college program for 6 years anymore. I'm going to have a new coach pretty much every year. So it's been a pretty good transition overall.
So you think it's making you more versatile, is what it sounds like.
Yeah, definitely. I got used to one coach for a while, so it's good. Find some new perspectives.
I'm coming right back to your dad again. Oh my God. She wants to talk about my dad. When you're with your dad, how big of a flex do you remind him that you were a number 1 overall draft pick? I mean, I think you should lead with that, right? How does he take that?
Should. I think he's just very happy for me that it happened. I try not to compare it too much because I did get him by a good amount of picks. So I don't try to say it too much, but I think he's just, really proud of me. And he says it really any chance he gets. And he'll be like out of town with my brother at his tournaments and call me and be like, this person want to talk to you. Come tell them about your experience. So I think he's just still really happy and over the moon about it. But yeah, I need to give him a little more slack about that.
I want to give him just maybe some props here, because I just kind of curious, how does he fit in as a parent? You would think he would want to push you more to basketball, but you made that switch at 7th grade. You focused on volleyball. How was that with him? I'm just surprised he didn't push.
Yeah, he never really pushed me any direction towards really anything. Growing up, I did a lot of like dance and acting and singing. I was more into the creative arts. I had him train me for like a summer in basketball in 6th grade. Went to one practice, hated it, quit, never played basketball again. So he didn't really care. He was just more so the parent that whatever you do, you need to give 100% to it. And then moved to Texas, started playing volleyball. And once he saw club volleyball and the club volleyball dues they have to pay, he was like, okay, if we're going to do this, we need to be serious. So right away, he was, pushing me the hardest, but also my biggest fan. And I really appreciated it.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that because covering the games, he's front row.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so what is it like during the games or during the matches when you see a supportive father in that way?
Yeah, having my parents at the games, my mom gets mad that nobody ever says her, so my mom says,
Sorry.
Shut up, mom.
But it's really nice having that. Definitely something that I tried not to take for granted, because being able to look up and no matter if I'm having the best game or one of my worst games, and seeing my parents there, and whether it's like encouragement or my dad's like getting on me with his eyes, I can always tell what he's thinking with his eyes. I know that I have somebody there that wants what's best for me, and just being able to talk to them, give them a hug after the games, it's really great to have that. And I'm really grateful that I went to school so close to home to where they could see basically every single one of my games.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever replay those national championship matches back in your mind?
Oh yeah, I've watched them a couple times. Yeah, I watched them a lot, but it was just really special for me, and those are things that I wanted to accomplish when I committed when I was 16 years old. So being able to do that and being able to end my career with winning 2 back-to-back was so special, and not something that I ever thought could happen, but it makes me like emotional every time I watch it. So very grateful for those moments.
Since we were going to mention mom, shout out to mom and her genetics, because you didn't end up 5'6" like me. How tall is your mom?
So my mom's actually only 5'4", so I don't know if
wow.
it kept me from being like 6'9", or I don't know. I don't know where genetics played a part. But
you took it the negative route.
I know, yeah. I got great genetics from her regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mom.
Yes. And she's in the interview. How about that?
That's right. That's right.
How often you keep up with the current Texas volleyball team?
A pretty good amount. Some of the girls came to our match this past week, and then we get dinner and lunch with a lot of them. I'm still close to a good amount. Some of them obviously I didn't play with, but we all try to keep in touch and just try to be there for guidance. They call us sometimes asking for help and whatever it may be, but I try to stay pretty connected with the girls.
Gotcha.
Good deal.
When you're around the college players, you're the old head now, aren't you? I mean, 25 is kind of. How's that feel?
Chill out.
How's that feel?
Yeah. Yeah, my last 2 years, I was pretty old on the team, and especially my 6th year, there was girls who were like 17 on the team, and I'm like, you're the same age as my little brother. And I'm like, we're hanging out, but like I feel like you're a kid. I don't know. But it was weird, and I think at heart I still feel like I'm like 19 years old, so 25 sounds scary to say out loud, but yeah, I mean, I tried to be that old head veteran figure for the girls, and still now, and I think I created a pretty good relationship and bond with them where they felt like they could ask me or talk to me about anything, and I'm always going to be there for them and give them as much advice as I can, and hopefully I can continue to do that for them even when they go professional.
Well, Asjia, we certainly appreciate you jumping on with us today. We'd love to keep up with you. Certainly, we're going to keep up with LOVB LOVB volleyball and Team Austin as you guys continue to kick off this inaugural season. We, like I said, 2-time national champion. Now, as an overall number 1 pick in the Professional Volleyball League, it's great to see you here, and glad you're still around us.
Yeah.
So that we can, you and Logan Eggleston and Maddie. Well, we've got so many great memories of watching you ladies play and bring those national championships to UT. It's going to be great to be able to go out to the Cedar Park Center or Strahan Arena and also be able to watch you play here as well.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right. Appreciate
you.
you. Thank you very much. Asjia O'Neal from LOVB Austin, League One volleyball. So we certainly appreciate Asjia coming on with us. Like I said, we talked a little bit about women's professional volleyball. There's they've added beach volleyball into collegiate ranks. We've had in the past. I remember when I was at the University of Texas and just fresh out of UT, there was a professional women's beach volleyball league. They've had different iterations of that on and off, but. And the beach volleyball is certainly very popular, and from an Olympic standpoint, it gets a lot of notoriety. But the indoor game, if you haven't spent much time watching women's volleyball, men's volleyball as well, incredible.
Oh,
It's electric, bro.
Incredible athletes, and if you love watching the NBA and the athleticism
Yes.
that is displayed, it is every bit, and I'm talking the elite high school level, the college level, this LOVB league, international level, every bit of athleticism that you see in the NBA is housed in these ladies. They are incredible athletes. To see, it's just, I've fallen in love, obviously, with watching UT women's volleyball as a Longhorn fan. I've got some friends who are season ticket holders and go down to Greg Gym all the time. But it is, if you think that it's going to be some slow game that you used to watch when you were playing at the YMCA or something like that, it is not. It is something completely different, and you would be amazed if you haven't had a chance to lay eyes on it. I would certainly encourage it.
I'm telling you, if you see a spike and that doesn't remind you of a good dunk,
Dude.
I mean, some people hurl themselves into the air, and I don't think they care about landing. I'll meet you at the top floor, and then we'll figure it out at the end.
Hey, well, you know what we need to do one day?
What's that?
Is we need to let Asjia take a shot at you.
Oh. See,
I mean, she'll tell you where she's going to hit it.
Right.
You can try to dig it out.
Right.
You think you could dig it?
I think I could put my body in front of it. Does that count? Because I might get lucky and it ricochets back towards where it's supposed to go.
Yeah.
So if I go diving for it, now it might hit me in the face. It might hit me in the head.
I'm digging that mug out, bro.
All right.
You're getting it?
I'm digging that
You
mug
got it.
out.
Corey
You got
says
it.
He's getting it.
Yeah. Well,
Jamal, you're fast as all
hey,
get out.
those two guys are young. Well, you're younger than me, too. There ain't no way I'm getting to it. I'm getting out of the way.
Sister.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
You,
she played volleyball.
you got
Pretty
good
cool.
instincts and reaction?
Yeah, and I played. I used to play sand all the time on Friday nights.
Now, volleyball is I am a beach boy. I grew up at a beach and,
Of course you
went to
were.
college at the beach. No, I do. So I do love the game.
Yeah.
I got a jump serve. We talked about this before.
That's right.
I got a jump serve. I was gonna ask her. I was gonna ask her. And hopefully she's still listening.
All right. So we need to get to a break. We'll come back on the other side. We got Super Bowl talk up to the top of the hour right here on the Fans View.